did you get into writing? Is that due to really capturing these special people in your life? What drew you to writing as this
Great
calling?
questions. Great questions, Benji. No, as a matter of fact, I didn't think my life was writing.
Hmm.
And I'll just show you, there's a plaque above my
Yeah, I see it.
shoulder there. That's from Toastmasters International.
Yes.
You know about Toastmasters?
I do. I've been a part of Toastmasters off and on throughout the years. So when I lived in Missouri, I believe in Rockford, Illinois, Beaumont, Texas, and I've been a part of Toastmasters as well.
Okay. So I spent 35 years as a member of Toastmasters, and I became a distinguished Toastmaster at the highest level there. Over 35 years. There's some guys who can do it in 6 months. It took me 35 years. But every week, as you know, I went to a club meeting, I watched people present, and then watch people give feedback and how to improve. Don't go stand straight. Don't wobble while you're talking. Look at the audience, things like this. And I thought, oh, this is where I belong. I should be giving presentations. But the world didn't want me there. The world wanted me somewhere else. And it was in the area of writing articles. Now, when I was in university, I share this story quite often. In English 101 at UBC, my professor, he graded my papers all F, F, F. It was terrible. He assigned a project for me to write an essay about a sonnet called Death by John Donne. The sonnet goes, "Death, be not proud, though some have called thee mighty, for thou art not so," and so on. And I wrote an essay on that and got an F. Then he said, well, rewrite it. So I rewrote it, still F, F, F. I wrote that essay 5 times through that year, and other essays and so on. And at the end of the year, the guy just took sympathy on me. Okay, he gave me 50%. So I passed because he knew if I didn't pass, I wouldn't be able to continue with my studies.
Yeah.
So I was pathetic at writing. But over time, if you write and you study how to write better, not just write. If you want to write, write. If you want to act, act. If you want to, play hockey, play hockey.
Yep.
But that's not the answer. It's act or write or play hockey, but learn how to play and write better. The key is you have to study how to be better, not just do it. But I did. And over time, I started getting better. My articles appeared in some student newspapers and stuff like that. And then later, I became a journalist, and I was in New York. I became a UN correspondent, and I wrote, among other papers, for there's a group called Southern News Services back then that had newspapers throughout Canada. And my articles appeared in some of those newspapers, and so I got pretty good. And later, I went to my law practice. I'm practicing law, and working with a friend here at Pace Law Firm in Toronto. We used to post little notes to people who had written immigration articles saying, "Oh, this is great, but you missed this point," or "I think you should expand on that point." And over time, Forbes noticed that I was posting these things on their articles, and there's one of, well, who is this idiot? They looked me up on my website, I guess, and they said, "Oh, a guy's former UN correspondent. Let's reach out to him. You want to write?"
Wow.
Would I? Oh, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's the one and only time. I just want to make this point. That's the one and only time in my life that someone said, reached out to me and said, "You want to do something?"
Yeah.
All my life, in terms of every job I applied for, anything I wanted in my life, it was always, "You're too slow, you're too fast, you're too fat, you're too thin, you're too tall, you're too skinny,
Yeah.
You're too stupid, you're too smart." Never, "Oh, Andy, come on in. We've been waiting for you. You're the
Yeah,
perfect guy for us. Never.
that's a powerful
One
story. I think that shows. I think there's a great life lesson.